Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hot Potato Gamer here, and this will be my first review for anything in general. Chairman wanted me to try something a little different, and he wants to try some cosplay stuff, but I decided to do a review on my own. This review I'll do myself, and if people like this, I'll probably do a review. Sorry, a little gibberish there. On the next episode or something. For right now, this review is going to be talking about what happened today. That's right. As you all read the title, Steven Universe, A Single Pale Rose. If I'm not butchering that wrong. In this episode, we have Steven coming back from the moon after having his discussion with Lapis. And also, spoilers for those who haven't seen it, my bad. Steven's in his living room, sitting down, while Amethyst and Pearl walk in. Amethyst is trying to teach Pearl how to use her phone. Some stuff happens, and Steven walked up to Pearl and asking the whole thing, like, you know what happened to Pink Diamond? But at the same time, after that, he then said, did you shatter Pink Diamond? Like, something like that. In terms of, in the last episode, or in terms of this episode, the special episode that came out for this week, for Steven Universe. And for some reason, every time when Pearl tries to tell something about it, she always covers her mouth, both hands, like a cross. Or with one hand. So, later on, they keep arguing. Steven got a little angry, and everything went somewhat back to normal. Before Pearl put the phone into her head. Storage unit kind of thing. After a little while, the next day, Steven was like eating bits and stuff. Then he got a text from Pearl saying, I want to tell you the truth. So, like Steven, like the show, little comedian, Steven rushed in saying, tell me what I'm ready to know, that kind of stuff. But Pearl doesn't know what Steven was talking about. Because apparently in that, the Pearl sent the text to Steven, but not the Pearl that's actually in the physical plane. The subconscious Pearls. Or Pearl. Who knows which one. So within that, Pearl tries to take out the phone, but it doesn't come out. She keeps popping up a bunch of other junks. And this is when Steven and Pearl decided to find the phone by going into Pearl's head. Which is kind of interesting, because I always wondered, can you fit a living being inside any of the gems? Well, now we know. Although technically Steven's a half gem, so we don't fully know yet. But regardless, in general. Steven goes into like a modern Pearl organizing, kind of giving off the whole Matrix gimmick thing, like with all the guns popping in and the conveyor belt gimmick. Meets the Pearl, they try to look for the phone. Phone's not there. So Steven says, is there any other way? She suggests meet one of the other Pearls. So Pearl sends Steven inside that Pearl again. So Steven jumped into the head of the first Pearl to go into the mind of the second Pearl. In that one, this second Pearl is the past when Rose was pregnant. Before the temple had like the full house. She was crying, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. So as we get further into the series, we know, Steven talks to Pearl about trying to see why she's crying. And then after Pearl says she can't have a baby, awkward moment for Steven. Now, so far from this episode, it's very interesting knowing how this event is trying to lead right into the moment of not only the truth of it, the whole thing, but if any theories that anybody has thought of come true or not. As you know, there has always been speculations of what happened, who was the Pink Diamond at first when they first revealed her, and what made Rose Quartz such a notorious outlaw to the diamonds. And then, for some reason, we end up getting stuff with Pearl trying to want to say stuff, but every time she does, her mouth covers up. Quite literally. And for one of the other episodes, we find out the story of rose quartz shattering, like the life of rose quartz. But yet somehow in the previous episode of A Single Pale Rose, we see a flashback. Oh, sorry, in the previous episode, I forgot the name of that. We got a flashback of what seems to be, or a silhouette kind of shadow of Pearl with a sword about to stab Pink Diamond. Yes, and those who don't know much about the show or who is new to this, Rose has a special sword that can take out the form, not shatter. So there are speculations how they shattered Pink. Moving on. So Steven goes into the third Pearl, to the further past, to the event after the what was it that Centipede called it now? Damage from the diamonds. Saying all these kind of stuff. Saying it's not my fault or anything, like this shouldn't happen, the diamonds kind of stuff. If only they couldn't. Which would then lead to Steven asking, what do you mean? Which then that Pearl took our Steven into her mind. Which would then lead to the event right after Pink Diamond was shattered and Rose Quartz just standing there. You see Rose Quartz standing there after in terms of whatever a shatter looks like for a gem or a diamond or whatever. Steven walked up. But right when Rose lifted her head up with tears, her eyes are blue, not black. Steven was like, what? Rose Quartz turned her head, but in the event, when her head turned after she heard the screams of other gems, there was a pearl on her forehead, proving to Steven's case that Rose Quartz did not shatter Pink Diamond, but Pearl did. But after Steven walked up to the supposed Rose Quartz Pearl, Steven asked why and how. She then shows something that we did not expect. Pearl is holding a legit pink diamond, wondering all that kind of stuff. And thus, for the one final time, Steven jumped into the final rose, which would then leads us to right the event only a few minutes or half an hour, who knows, before Pink Diamond was shattered from the back. Steven's on the chair. Then we hear voices. Steven got off the chair of the Palestine or whatever in general. In the back, you see Pearl and Rose Quartz talking. Almost like normal stuff. Like something different. There was something off about it. How they were talking was a little different. I mean, in terms... It's almost... Well, besides trying to... From the beginning, it sounds like they were going to liberate it by stabbing Pink Diamond. Maybe they would have... They stealthed in somehow. Maybe. Who knows? But then at one point, Rose says, this world was mine to give, and I want to give it to the crystal gems, which was kind of weird, because Pink Diamond noted that. Then, after they Pearl accepted the job, the one thing Rose said is, I can't shatter myself. And then she transformed into what we did not expect. Or technically, what everyone in the world did not exactly expect. Rose Quartz is Pink Diamond. So, are y'all wondering? This is, well, to be honest, really, I was stupefied, to be honest, really. From what all the theories thought, it was either Rose Quartz being the gem that was able to shatter Pink Diamond. Then later on, theorized being Rose Quartz was Pink Diamond and switched the minds of Rose Quartz, switch minds. Or, well, in this case, what the newer developments was Pink Diamond shattered, Pearl shattered Pink Diamond instead of Rose, because Rose was probably in another area. But it still doesn't explain the whole sword thing, because the sword that killed Pink Diamond was the sword that was made by Bismuth, another crystal gem, that was made to destroy the form, but never the gem. To that, Pink Diamond was actually the rebel. Or is a rebel. Wasn't the Rose... to be honest, really, I'm still kind of confused. They probably made up the story. I think in turns wrote... How this went so far? I believe this was a secret thing that only Pearl and Rose Quartz, aka Pink Diamond, did or knew about. So, with that, before Pink Diamond grabbed a flower and some dirt, gave the flower to Pearl. Pearl placed it on her head, and somehow, I always wonder what kind of powers Pink had, but I think now we know. Turn a pile of dust by blowing into it into what looks like an actual shattered gem, which in this case was a shattered diamond in her case. With that, before they did the events, Pink Diamond made one final vow, told Pearl for one last order by her diamond to never tell anyone about what they did. Sorry, I'm just still more shocked than I ever thought I would be. So Pink Diamond left the room. Steven looked up. And that Pearl looked at Steven and said, "Now you know the truth," or something like that. And gave her the phone. After that, Steven came back to his world knowing the truth. With Pearl tearing up, finally saying, "Now you know." That kind of gimmick. And lastly, Steven says, "My mother was Pink Diamond." Which, ironically, after that, Amethyst and Garnet were basically speechless. With Garnet having her hands clapped and covering her mouth, and Amethyst with big eyes and a big mouth open. And that's where the episode ends. And also the last episode for Season 5. Wow, man. In all honesty, there was a theory that Pink Diamond is Rose Quartz, or Pink Diamond switched her mind with a Rose Quartz to lay off the illusion, or ordered Rose Quartz kind of gimmick. There was a whole bunch of stuff. But at all, in the whole beginning, it was just crazy. Pink Diamond set up the whole thing, transforming herself as a Rose Quartz to sneak away to see the planet, to meet all this stuff, and then being a pretending to be a Rose Quartz to help all life by first being shattered, she faked her death, transform into a new body, literally transform into her within her own powers into the Rose Quartz that we know. The biggest lie that she told, the only person who knew the truth was Pearl. Man. And from all the other spoilers that we know, Season 6 is going to be interesting. But then that leaves only one question. With the spoilers that they show the spoilers that they show, it leaves to the question, what about White Diamond? What about the corruption? And any other secrets? How are the corrupted gems going to get fixed? Because knowing this series, they want to leave it off in a happily ever after kind of gimmick. Nothing like too bad or anything like that. Well, we may not know until probably 2020. That's my assumption. The Steven Universe is probably going to keep going on until 2020, at least another 2 years in total. That's what I think anyway. So, this was my first semi-review talk about. I gotta admit, when I watched the episode, I was freaking surprised. I actually almost teared up, knowing that the truth was actually, somewhat of a theory was somewhat true. It's just amazing. Well, anyway, like always, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you like, share, and subscribe to the channel.